All right, let's do the old mic check. Can you guys hear me? Hey, it's working this time. Excellent. Well, welcome everyone back to some more CPL where we get to ponder some of life's biggest questions, such as, is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it? And whether cutting the grass around the trunk of a tree makes the tree appear taller. These are the things we're all here to figure out. Just like in the chat, the discussion as to whether or not you can smell things underwater. These are really important, but also important is getting some Brood War action. And the only reason I'm casting is because there's nothing really going on in the Brood War scene on Twitch right now. So I figured, let's throw something up there. And this week, we've got some bangers. You know, I heard no one likes Zerg. And so I took that to heart when I chose these matchups. And we have 4 PVTs for you. So buckle up! Prepare for the Invisible Men. Get your siege tanks out. Fill out your bingo cards and tag Anderson in the Discord, in the CPL Discord. He handles all the prizing support. He judges it based off of creativity and timeliness of reaching a bingo. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. And also, I need to fix the alert here. Let me just do that real quick, because it gets all covered, and that's no fun. You gotta be able to get credit for the follow. Anyway. Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it. And look forward to watching you play here against Borisu, which is always a good time. Okay, so anyway, what we're doing today is it's week 4, tier 2. So these were the games that were played last week. And this is 1 of 2, meaning that this is only half the matches in this tier between the build disorders and the big naturals. And last week we casted some big naturals matches, but I haven't casted any build disorders matches. And I really like their logo, and I wanted to throw it up on the stream. That's the main reason why we're casting them. And so right now we've got Bukaj playing Protoss up against McSmush playing Terran. That'll be our first series. And then we'll do floladriblere, which I think I abbreviated to Florida Dribbler in the preseason, up against iamsacul, which is really Lucas backwards. That's kind of why I think his name is that. Pretty sweet. And then we got Hexe playing Protoss, which is an off race for Hexe. I do know that. She is typically a Zerg player, facing off against NCX playing Terran, and then Marty Magpie playing Protoss against Borisu's Terran. And Borisu is pretty known to do pretty fun things, like nukes. So if we don't see nukes, we'll be pretty disappointed. But before we just jump into it and get after it and all this awesome StarCraft action, get ready for the anthem. It's not a CPL cast with me without the anthem, and honestly, it's the main reason I even do this in the first place. So stand up, hand over your heart, and show due respect to the league that we all love so dearly. Warm up those fingers. Play with your mustache.
Winners rise and losers fall, reflexes sharp, minds and thrall. Gamers play, this never ends. CPL, legends play. CPL, we fight tonight. Let us sing the storyline. From the shadows to the dream, we are the Coach-Pupil League.
All right, formality is complete. We don't have to listen to that until the end. Elkiador, thank you for being here. Thanks for the follow. Let's go ahead and get into it, right? I think, so the times were a little mixed up when I was pulling the replays from kind of like our repository. And this might be a long one, and I don't have all day. So we got to get into it, and we got to start getting after it. So let me open up all these things I should have had, prepared before I even hit go live. Let's open up the first replay, and let's get Bukaj up against McSmush. And by the way, McSmush is such a dope name. That's what I should have named myself instead of Manshark. Okay, so the first map is going to be on Polypoid. Elkiador, yo, thanks for the subscription. Thank you so much. By the way, yeah, so all the money that comes into this Twitch channel just goes straight into a fund that's going to be used for monetary prizing in StarCraft Underground, not Underwear, StarCraft Underground. And right now, I got to double check. Last time I checked, I think we were at like $15, like 20 something cents. But yeah, it all goes there. So if you have a Prime sub that you're not using, you know, it is the beginning of a new month. If you'd already had it on here for last month, go ahead and do the Prime subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. All right, so anyway, we're going to be on Polypoid, and let's get it. Yo, it's Shafto! Thanks for the follow, bruh. And before we get, oh, sweet colors, let's change that into even sweeter colors. Esk, you know what to do. So Escalade's going to enforce the law here in chat, if I can alt-tab correctly. And I'm going to fix the scoreboard real quick to show that we're playing on Polypoid. So scoreboard. Yo, locally unseen, thank you so much for the subscribe. I love it. I love it. I can't wait. You know, Starcraft Underground has a lot of stuff going on. We're about to open up kind of like a league for some of the players that have been promoting there. And I definitely want to be able to support those players. All right, so we're on Polypoid. Player B is not player B, it's McSmush. The McSmush or McSmash? Okay, McSmush. Okay, everything should look good right now. If not, we'll fix it for the next map. But I want to get into this game where it's yellow versus yellow, because it's your duty, Esk, to tell everyone how you're supposed to host these games. Now we're in T2, right? These players should know better. So anyway, we'll change it back to the brown versus red, because that is better than the yellow versus yellow. But anyway, down here in the bottom right, we've got McSmush representing the big naturals playing Terran. And then up here in the top left, we've got Bukaj playing as our red Protoss, representing the Build Disorders, which is a sick name. I love it. So right now, both players opening pretty standard, right? Getting Gateway, Assimilator, Supply Depot, Barracks, Gas. Oh man, all the things you love to see. And we're probably going to see some scouting here soon. You know, and then after that, maybe some harassment. And, you know, and then someone will win. We can just probably chalk this one up and go to the next. But we won't do that. It is a cross spawn as well. So we'll see if either of these players is going to go straight for a cross spawn scout. We got McSmushy heading over here to the left. We've got Bukaj apparently going over to the top right. Yo, Borisu, thanks for the follow. Hey, we've got some of your games coming up. Don't spoil us, but if we don't see a nuke, we're all going to be really pissed. And everyone on your bingo card should have Borisu attempts a nuke. We can go with even builds a nuclear silo as a square. I think that that's a very reasonable bingo square to post in the CPL Discord and tag Anderson. Thank you, Escalade, for laying down the law. If you want your games casted, please host in top versus bottom. It just makes the viewing experience much better. Alright, so it does look like both players are kind of just doing a circular scout, box scout, and as I say that, I'm lying. McSmush is doing an end scout. He's going to be going up to the top right, and he'll know that he's cross-spawned, but he won't have any visibility as to whether or not there's a zealot on the map. That's kind of the big scary thing when doing an end scout, and you don't get eyes on the Protoss within the first two bases, or even the first base. I think it's after the first base, if you don't see them, there's still a likelihood that there's a zealot out on the field. So we've got 3 Marines out from McSmushy. He's going to be herding this probe into a corner, slapping it down real good. I think the probe did come up here and did observe that there's only one SCV on gas. So I think Protoss is fairly confident that this is not going to be a 2-fac, which is correct. We got a factory fast expand, single vulture going straight into machine shop. Now the SCV is going to be coming up here into the Protoss base. Let's go ahead and see what he's going to see. He's going to see a pylon, he's going to see a Dragoon, he's going to see an expansion, and he's going to know this is going to be a relatively standard match. Now the initial Dragoon did come across the map. There was a vulture there and the 3 Marines, which is more than enough to take out that Dragoon. So he ends up trying to chase the vulture, ends up coming back, and there's no bunker as of yet, but something that I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw McSmushy put down is a solid McSmushy bunker. And we see that little Dragoon dance. Now we do have a vulture coming up here, getting some harassment, gets 1 probe, 2 probes. before it gets knocked out by this Dragoon. McSmushy having to feel great about that. And every time I say McSmushy, I feel like I've got a lot of kids, right? And I think it's Finding Dory, where Dory has something and he's like, this is my squishy. That's what I keep thinking about. Alright, this Dragoon actually getting a good amount of work in, targeting down these Marines, gets all 3 of them and still survives. Now he might be a little aggroed onto this Vulture. Does look like Bukaj pulls back this Dragoon, but these Vultures can chase it down and knock it out. And there's no reinforcements coming, so he is going to end up losing this Dragoon to these Vultures, and there will be 2 on the map. Now, one thing to note is Bukaj doesn't know what upgrades obviously McSmushy's going for, and he has opted to go for speed. I don't think either of these have... Oh, he already did have mines. I missed that. So, that's something that Bukaj is going to need to be extremely cognizant of, is that there's probably mines on the field. He needs to go up and get that observatory, which he is building, and get observers out before he starts committing to a push. Now, going for an early third here, I feel like this is early. I'm not an expert in TVP, but I feel like around the 6.5 minute mark, you start seeing the third. So Bukaj trying to be a little greedy. Gonna get punished for it. That probe does go down. A whole bunch of mines are laid out here outside the natural, and that's gonna hamper his ability to come out and save this Nexus until either as an observer, which is almost complete, or he gets a few more Dragoons so he can kind of clear these mines. Now the Nexus isn't going to go anywhere. Even with a whole boy band of Vultures, it's going to take like 8,412 shots to kill a Nexus. So he's going to be able to come up here, clear these mines, and shoo this Vulture away. So his greed may be paid off. Ooh. Does try to sneak in some Vultures as those Dragoons are trying to go save that Nexus. Doing a great job here by McSmush, getting a couple probes. Huge mine connection. Dragoon goes down. More probes coming down into the natural, and they're all just getting shawackered by McSmush. Right now, we've got 7 kills on these Vultures at the moment. And that's going to force these Dragoons to head back home and try to clean this out. Is he going to be able to get up the ramp? Now, this Dragoon's doing a great job of blocking. Oh, man. Great little backstab there by McSmush. Meanwhile, this Vulture doing its darndest to light some fires on this Nexus, but it ends up going down as well. Okay, so we have a Vulture here taking a look at this potential expansion. That Nexus has been saved, a couple mines outside the natural. Cool, we know what Protoss is up to. Let's go check in on our Terran hero. So we do have some tanks hitting the field. We've got a turret, nice little safety turret outside the natural. A little far from potential Reaver drops or anything that may come here, but definitely good defense against any type of DT run by or anything along those lines. Terran going up to 3 factories at the moment. And otherwise, just trying to macro up. We do have an armory coming down somewhere. There it is. It does look like we have a 3-tank push on the way. Nice little Congo line here. It's something that I always run into as well, is when you move Vultures and tanks together. Like if the tanks are in front, all the Vultures will be like, okay, yep, this is the line. Let's get in. Alright, I didn't see if Siege was upgraded, but McSmushy did indeed upgrade it. And this looks a little dangerous, but he's actually getting a lot of damage done here. 2 Dragoons against 2 tanks and a Marine. I feel like the tanks and the Marine should win that. Right now, trying to micro this tank. Does end up saving it for the moment so his buddy can show up. And for Protoss, he's kind of hurting on army supply. He's got 2 Dragoons. He's waiting for this greed to pay off, but he's lost a good amount of probes due to the Vultures, and he's only sitting at 30 now. Now the siege tanks are going to town. Good retargeting there by McSmush, is able to take out one of those 2 Dragoons. And even if that tank goes down, oh, here comes a huge, oh man, that was so lucky. I was just waiting for those mines to come and blow up right on top of all of those probes, but observers are there. It was seen, and it was held by Bukaj. But look at this economy difference. We've got 55 SCVs to 31 probes, and McSmush is just trying to smush in any hopes that Bukaj has on this match. Huge mine connection. The Vulture is going to town on these probes. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous for Bukaj, because you know after these vultures come through, and they all survived, there's going to be a big tank follow-up. Like, the tank production is not slowing down. Bunch of mines being placed out. We do see Protoss up on 4 gateways at the moment, pumping out zealots. And this is looking really good for our Terran player. Let's go ahead and see what he has at home. A whole boy band of vultures. More tanks. We are starting to increase our factory count and get a 3rd command center. It does look like he's preparing this command center to take this all mineral base, which isn't ideal, but it is definitely probably the, the easiest one to snag and defend. A couple cannons going down to hopefully stem any more of these vulture run-bys that have been so successful for Bukaj, who's essentially double the worker count of our Protoss player. Okay, so McSmush is going to see this move out. He's continuing to place mines in front of the Dragoons. He does this so he can get these tanks up and in position. They're going to get sieged. Here come the vultures. Oh, man. Bukaj needs to pull these Dragoons back. Loses a couple of them. And I'm wondering if I missed an attempted run-by, because he did have more vultures out on the field. Okay, so buying some space here. McSmush has a good little position. It is being observed. Rally is looking pretty good. And now, okay, so now McSmush, he's going to start turning his economy into production. So he just needs to hold back right now. Get this base up and running. And then he'll be able to just absolutely overwhelm Bukaj if he doesn't get another expansion. Or more gateways. Looks like a 5th gateway is coming up. We got +1 melee being researched. And the vultures are going to poke in, see what they can see. Oh my gosh, is he going to get more probes? More probes going down. He built cannons at the 3rd, but didn't cannon up the natural here. And these vultures are just absolutely schwacking all the probes here. A little bit of lost mining time as well. So McSmush playing very aggressively, keeping the pressure on. There hasn't been, 10 seconds of gameplay where there hasn't been vultures just rammed right into a mineral line. And now we're starting to see that production really pick up. We're getting Goliaths in the mix. We're up to 7 factories, 2 with machine shops. And we're continuing as the Terran player to push this advantage, this position, towards the Protoss 3rd. Now, if we look at upgrades as well, we're at +1 for the Terran mech, but we're getting +2 and +1 armor on the way. And look at this. We're going to see dropship play. It's going to be beautiful. Alright, nice little engagement here. Zealots are going to run up and eat a lot of these mines. They don't even get to the tanks. Wow, those mines were perfect. Now, the Dragoon count is pretty high, and I feel like he is going to be able to clean this up if he closes the distance, but that is a lot of tanks going down. But McSmush don't care. McSmush has 71 workers. 3 bases. He's got more money than he knows what to do with. He is a very rich Terran. Bukaj trying to go for a counter. Vulture's running in here, seeing, oh yeah, there's cannons. Can't do nothing. And McSmush is preparing for another push. I'm trying to look at here at the mini-map. It's kind of annoying. Like, I look at the mini-map and I see all these, like, little dots. It's just mines. There's mines everywhere. Okay, so Protoss is on the back foot a little bit. Sitting at 6. What the? Oh my goodness! The dropship showed up and brought some tanks. I'm wondering. Bukaj is really struggling to get over 40 probes. Not sure if this drop was particularly worth it. That might have actually been better with vultures. But still getting more probe damage always feels good. And if there didn't happen to be like a round of zealots, those tanks could have actually done some serious work. So good defense there by Bukaj. More string of zealots coming in. Oh, Bukaj is just like, GG, man. GG. That was a great game. I was trying to think right there what the button was to alt tab. I was like, how do you alt tab again? All right, we're gonna go ahead and give McSmush +1 there. We're gonna go ahead, go to our big score screen, give McSmush a big old dub, and right now it's looking good for the big naturals. Let's go ahead and head into game number 2 in this series. This is fun. I don't think I've casted tier 2 matches yet. I've been casting a lot of tier 4, tier 3. Right now, watching tier 2 and watching how McSmush did that TVP, I'm like trying to take mental notes. I'm like, oh, this is how you play Terran. Vultures, got it. Yeah, pressure, got it. High APM, understood. Yeah, I'll get after that. All right, let's get into game number 2. And this one's going to be on Radeon. All right, we got better colors this time. Let's see if they, no, okay. Dang it, alt tab. Yeah, so yellow versus yellow is not what we're gonna do. We're gonna do teal-ish versus Dijon mustard-ish. So up in the top right, our tealish Bukaj, our Protoss player, representing the build disorders, up against McSmush, our whatever you call this, Dijon mustard Terran, down here representing the big naturals, coming off a really aggressive, well-earned win in round number 1. And now we get to sit here and wait for the first few minutes as both players just kind of do their thing. It's another cross spawn, I want to point out. And we'll see if there's any variation of build orders as well. Yeah, Grey Poupon versus Soylent Green. You know, you don't get these kind of color conversations when you go top versus bottom. You just don't. You miss out on all of this wonderful conversation. Neon Sword, good to see ya. Let me allow your modded chat message. Neon Sword, I don't remember what Twitch I was watching. I usually have Twitch on like when I'm working or just doing other things. And I showed up after you had left, but you had shown up and just completely spammed the chat. And it was so funny. All right, anyway, Protoss looking like they're doing more of the same old standard Dragoon opening. Nice little SimCity here. Protect against any early zealots that the Protoss may send towards McSmush. And now I'm wondering if he's gonna, you know, alter his build to be kind of like a 2-fact. You got to see that the early aggression was extremely effective. He may try to double down on that. Now, for Bukaj, I'm wondering if he's gonna alter his gameplay at all. I think a couple of things you may think about is earlier cannon placement in the mineral lines. I think that's probably the biggest thing, and maybe jamming up some of the other areas leading into his mineral lines, just so he can prevent the vulture run-bys. Now we do have a pylon coming down here. This could be DTs. It could just be to look out and delay an expansion. We'll have to see. Now, the gas has come off, so it looks like we're going to just be doing factory fast expand. Probe has made their way over to the Soylent Green base, and McSmush blasted him. And we do have stuff going down. We've got a gateway, baby! Here we go! Bukaj was like, hey, you want to just keep ramming me with vultures? Eat zealots, bruh. or DTs, or whatever he wants to pull out of this. Ooh, double gateway. We've got 3 gateways on the field, 2 of which are proxy just outside McSmush's base. Now this is definitely a high risk, high reward play, but we are expanding here as McSmush, and so if the Vulture comes across, there may be a window of opportunity to get some damage done. Now McSmush is going to see that there's no expansion, so he might think that there's something up, and the Vulture may go hunting. But he didn't get into the main. So he didn't get to get a count of pylons. He didn't get to see what was going on tech-wise. But you can see here that he's out looking. He doesn't have mines yet. So he's either looking for any shenanigans, or he's trying to park so that when a Dragoon does show up, he can sneak back around. So we'll keep an eye on this, but I imagine he's going to dive that in here again real soon, if for nothing else than information. A 3rd gateway going down here at the 6 o'clock, and it does look like we're going just into Master Goods. Okay, so here's that poke we were talking about. Came in, saw again that there was no expansion. So, what do we get? We get a bunker, baby. And the Marines are like, hide! Meanwhile, getting a 2nd factory. Getting an engineering bay. Likely going to see a turret come down here again to prepare against any potential DT run by. And here it is. He identifies it. Okay, so the veil has been pulled off of the Protoss plan. Good job on taking out that mine. And here we go. We're starting to mine up the front of the natural. And I don't know if... We'll have to see how this does. We'll have to see how this does. We already have a tank on the way for our Terran player. Nice little mine drag there from the Zealot, and the Dragoons are in danger range. They're going down the highway to the danger zone, knocking out one Vulture, getting some plink shots, some pot shots on the 2nd. And now we've got the SCVs here, and they're going to be able to handle this, this repair on the bunker if need be. But the tank is just now about to come out. We've got a whole boatload. Oh, that mine connection. Huge. Oh my gosh, no, Bukaj. Oh, absolute disaster for our Protoss player. Oh no. And Bukaj was just like, yep, GG, bro. Mines are cool. Holy crap. GG and good game to McSmush. Able to take that series 2-0. Man, tier 2 just hits different. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so McSmush gets 1 on the board for the big naturals against the build disorders. Next up, we're going to see floladriblere up against iamsacul. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys, and then we'll get right into it. Wow. That last game. 3 mines, like, won the whole thing for McSmush. Alright, we've got another TBP. Surprise, surprise. We are going to be on Polypoid. Let's get you into the game, and then I will change all the scoreboard stuff. Except I don't remember who's on which team. So, hang on a second. Oh, yeah, I do. Alright, so, floladriblere. Let's see how we spell that. Flow, la, drib, le, re. Okay, cool. And he's going to be our Terran. That's build disorders. Now, instead of McSmush, we've got iamsacul. Playing Protoss for the big naturals. Alright, I think our score... Nope, I got to fix it to Polypoid. Alright, the little information thingy should be looking alright now. Let's get into the game. Okay, so... Shift tab. Hey, look at that. We got top versus bottom, ladies and gentlemen. So up here in the top right, we've got floladriblere as our red Terran representing the build disorders. Now up here in the top left, we've got iamsacul, our blue Protoss, representing the big naturals. And what do we have here? We've got a center pylon, baby. Oh, right out the gate. Let's get it. Now, we need to see how the scout pattern goes for floladriblere, and if he decides to try to go across. But what I expect is he'll do an end scout, and he'll get vision on this after it's too Wait. Oh man, I love this. I am so cool. Running his probe down to the bottom left, hoping for a first scout. Not gonna get it, so we'll have to see what happens. Only just now, barracks going down, binary going down, all the standard Terran stuff. Terran undoubtedly thinking, man, I hope Protoss just plays a stand-up, honorable game. And I'm sure Protoss considered it. I am so cool stands for. I know backwards it's Lucas. Yeah. All right, the moment of truth. A normal scout. He's gonna go down to the bottom right. He's gonna cross scout. He's gonna get here, but guess what? That zealot's already almost done, and by now, I am so cool knows where the Terran is. Now, we do have good SimCity here, but what we don't have is we don't have any Marines. There's a Marine now. Meanwhile, here comes Mr. G House. He's got a purpose. Factory going down. The name of the game now is get a vulture out as fast as possible and micro your little ass off. Now, the Zealot's going to come up here. It's the moment that all Terrans hate. Oh, but he survives. Good reaction there by floladriblere. And here comes the factory. Zealot trying to target down this SCV. Does get it, so it's going to delay the factory a little bit. Now we have the SCVs being pulled. Warrior probe following around his big brother. And the Marine's going in chase. Now what the Zealot's doing is he's running everything up north so that his homie can come up in here and start wreaking havoc. Now, this is what I was talking about with the good SimCity. This is one of the styles of SimCity where, you know, obviously the Marines can run through, the Zealots can't. But the Zealots can come in on this right-hand side, so they'll tend to go around over there, and you can kind of block them in with an SCV if you're feeling frisky. All right, so I'm so cool doing a really good job of splitting the forces, forcing floladriblere to really work for this. Is this going to survive? Oh, the Zealot lives with 1 HP. Meanwhile, this one up here with the battle probe going to work. Now, once this vulture comes out, this is where our Terran player can start turning the tide, but he's losing a good amount of SCVs. Right now, we're already at 17 to 21 workers. The vulture is heading across the map to the opponent's base, where the SCV is hard at work dismantling this assimilator. And he should be able to come up here and get a lot of damage done, because all the gateways are in the middle. But he needs to still defend at home. Right now we've got a machine shop going up, so we're not going to be seeing any vulture support. And we're going to be stuck trickling out Marines against this Dragoon. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled an SCV or two to gut up in the face of this Dragoon and block this ramp. Meanwhile, vulture up here. I think it had 2 kills by the time it went down. Probably hoping for a little bit more. Okay, so he has the SCVs chasing the Dragoon, but he doesn't block the ramp. So a second Dragoon's going to get up here, and we have a tank on the way. So this is already set up to be an absolute banger of a match. A McSmushy of a matcharoony. A floladriblere of a TVP. Alright, so we have a Marine, we got SCVs blocking, we're okay for now, but the Dragoons are going to start massing. So it really comes down to how much use and value we can get out of this tank. Now he needs to be careful poking down this ramp. 8 Dragoon shots, kill a tank. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4, it's already halfway dead. SCV going to work, we got Marines, marining things. And floladriblere decides, yeah, I got to get up this ramp. Okay, good. SCV's kind of blocking, getting the repair. And we're going to Vulture and Mine as the next layer of defense. Okay, meanwhile, back at the Protoss base, we have another gateway. We have a pylon. So right now we're at 2 gateways, and he is getting an expansion. Now, Terran has actually surpassed the Protoss in worker count at this point. So really good job by floladriblere to keep macroing out the workers. Okay, so we have a Vulture with Mine. Gonna start putting mines on the ramp within the base. But this isn't enough. This is 5 Dragoons. We don't have siege yet. The siege tank needs to be careful. Those siege tank drivers, they see something, they just start going for it. And the mines should help for a little bit, but this is enough dragoons to just clear them. Alright, now this siege tank has been fully repaired. So it is a little scary. And once siege comes up, then I expect these dragoons to either push or run away. And with 2 siege tanks up there, I think he's going to have to end up running away, especially with these mines out here. So going into 2 factories, 2 machine shops. The expansion almost complete for our Protoss. We're getting a robotics facility after that. Oh, there it is, baby. Boom! Beautiful. Beautiful blue goo. Okay, so we've hit a point of stabilizing. Both players have 25 workers. Terran is fighting their ass off, using like 300 APM just to take their natural, where Protoss uses 2 APM to A click. And it causes all the problems in the world. Big probe transfer going to the natural. Some would even say this big natural. And we've got the observatory about to allow our Protoss player to get some observers, see what's going on in the Terran base, and prevent any more damage from mines. Ooh, maybe a little ill-advised there, but we do have 7 dragoons, right? So 8 shots is a 1 shot on a tank. So once you have 8, it's kind of scary. You can start picking off tanks left and right. A couple dragoons hanging back home. I like this. Prevents any type of vulture run by. Prevents any, mitigates the risk of dropship play. That's kind of a last-ditch effort that the Terran may try to attempt. But things are looking okay. We have the command center on the high ground being floated down. Missile turret going out front. Okay, now here's an attempt to get these vultures out. And they're like, nope. Let's go this way. So they do end up sneaking out. They're going to head to the middle of the map, I imagine, and they're going to see this little thing, this culprit. Place some mines. There's no point wasting time with the vultures there. The mines will do the trick when the units spawn, and we're getting the 3rd base for the Protoss players. So Protoss is looking very strong at the moment. Definitely put floladriblere on the back foot. SCV transfer, we're going to have an income spike coming up here for our Terran player. And he's getting an idea of what's going on. He's seeing the 3rd base come up, planting some mines around the natural. He sees the shuttle. Almost gets a probe kill. Starting to mass tanks. Alright, we got ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen. Gamers gaming gamingly. Meanwhile, we do have Reaver tech. Oh, we're gonna see some Reavers. Here we go. Reavers out. Scarabs undoubtedly being made in mass. Any moment now, I'm sure of it. The shuttle making the Reaver walk. Alright, Scarabs being made. Now, we saw a turret go down in the natural. It does look like there's some turrets, anti-Reaver turrets being thrown down around the base. This would be kind of a cool Reaver target, actually. All 4 of those buildings. We got a good amount of tanks now, though. So this is starting to look a little bit better for our Terran player. Yo, Kriggy, you gotta keep up with the streams, man. You know I never play, but I cast. Alright, oh, I'm missing the Reaver drop. Alright, we're already at Scarabs being built. Oh, I want to see how many kills. This is doing a lot of damage. Okay, the Reaver does go down. Wasn't able to be picked up just in time. Oh man, I missed that whole thing. Mineral line did have to get evacuated. Alright, and we've got a turret shooting at something. Okay, likely the... Oh, yeah, the shuttle. The almost dead shuttle. Alright, probe is coming up here. Oh my gosh, is he going to take this base? Oh my gosh, Becky. Nope. Not today. We've got vultures out on the map. We're trying to start moving towards securing our third for the Terran player. This shuttle's just chilling. It's got a zealot in it too. So that's in the, you know, the ace in the hole. Hey guys, we don't need to talk about my poor Starcraft playing skills. Alright, 4th base coming up here for the Protoss, but you know, Florida Dribbler doing a really good job of getting vultures all around the map and keeping awareness of what the Protoss's plans are. Oh, I thought that might have been another shuttle. Yo, Jesse's! Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Alright, so anyway, while this boy band of vultures is working on that, we've got Dragoons doing some mine clearing operations, but one does go off. And right now, Terran is securing their third. Florida Dribbler, the macro monster machine extraordinaire, going up to 6 factories. Boy band, still working on this Nexus. Retinue of Dragoons coming up here. They're going to shoot those vultures away. Meanwhile, the center gate and pylon is still up and just doing its thing. Cracks me up. Oh man, this is turned into quite the match. You know, I think we're at the point though where Terran is going to start getting scary. iamsacul does still have a supply lead, but it's pretty much mostly Dragoons. I guess we are getting some Zealots in the mix. We do have another Reaver. This is a lot of tanks. And with this all mineral base and the 6 factories, the amount of vultures that are going to be able to be produced is going to start being a lot to handle. Warrior probe, ready to do warrior stuff. Another probe. I don't know if this is a miss rally or something. Maybe intentionally bringing them. And it sounded like we were getting shuttles. Okay, so we've got some siege tank bombs. Prepped and ready to go. Didn't seal this off, so these vultures are going to be able to run up here, potentially get a lot of probe kills. We'll see if he targets down the probes. We might lay some mines around these Dragoons first. Yeah, I do have a couple mines going down. Here we go. Big connection. Boom. Nice little engagement here for Terran. And a lot of these probes are going to start dying. Alright. Good job for Florida Dribbler. And you know, this Nexus was so beat up from earlier, it may actually go down if he just targets it. We'll keep an eye on this. The Dragoons are coming up to try to save it, and is it going to go down? We're at 20, 18, 7. Oh! Just barely got it. It was down to 2 HP. And they got that one shot off. That was huge. That was absolutely huge for those vultures. Those vultures were worth their weight in gold. Love to see it. Meanwhile, we've got Patton's freaking tank army up here. Well, a couple just poking out. Got warrior probes. Very important. Oof. This probe bathing in goon juice. And it's gone. And we see Florida Dribbler starting to take up a little bit more space. I like what he's done with his mines. Preventing any type of backstabs, keeping vision on the alternate like avenue of approach to his natural. And he is just leapfrogging control groups of tanks forward towards the Protoss base. Now here come the tank bombs. And we have a pretty big mass of Zealots, but we have a lot of vultures too. This is going to be a big engagement. Not all tanks being sieged is actually a good thing right now with these Zealot bombs. Oh, but the Zealots have cut through. They're onto the tanks right now. We still have a good amount unsieged, which is helpful against the tanks. And iamsacul drops! Boom! GG! Florida Dribbler takes round 1 for the build disorders. Oh man, that was badass, man. You ever shoot a machine gun on peyote? Badass. Alright. There we go. Florida Dribbler. 1-0 right now over iamsacul, but we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We've got more games. Oh god, what did you clip us? Alrighty. Game number 2, coming at you hot. Coming in on Radeon. Yo, mostly Galen. Thanks for the follow. You're watching Tier 2 of CPL. I forgot how to change scenes. Oh, now I remembered. Alright, luckily these players do top versus bottom. And in the bottom right on Radeon, we have our red Terran, floladriblere, our red Terran, who came back from insurmountable odds to win that last game against iamsacul. iamsacul, our blue Protoss, representing the big naturals, opened up with the center gate last game. We'll have to see if there's more cheese. Smelling like Parmesan up in here. Oh, it was the Nexus clip. Yeah, that was a sick moment, dude. I can't believe I missed that Reaver drop, though. I live for Reaver drops. It's the only redeeming factor about the Protoss faction, is that they can do that. Might be a hot take, but sticking to it. Alright. Pylon inside the base. Changing things up. Supply depot next to the command center. Gonna allow for a sweet SimCity. So we're chilling. We're chilling. Thanks again for all the follows. Gotten a lot of follows this stream. Really appreciate it. The CPL, if you're not a part of it, you should definitely join. Mid-season right now, but it's for all levels. There's a bunch of tiers, right? We're casting Tier 2, but there's all the way down from like the beginners in Tier 4 to people that you see on like the BSL streams in Tier 0 coaching everyone. It's a great league. Then also, if you play Brood War, you should check out Starcraft Underground. Brackets always running, flexible scheduling, internal promotion system. It's beautiful. 9K. What's up, man? Oh, you subscribed. Thank you. Thank you so much. All that money is going to go towards a big pot of gold that 9K will probably win in StarCraft Underground. So, appreciate it. Meanwhile, both players scouting the top right. Another cross spawn, by the way. Oh, I guess last game wasn't. Last game was a horizontal spawn. We've got an expansion going on at the natural. Beautiful stuff. We've got a marine on a ramp and a factory going down. Dude off the gas. Should be expecting, what do you call it? Another expansion. Okay. Protoss going to head down. Going to get the confirmation on the Terran player. And then we're seeing the end scout, which I bet floladriblere is like, okay, please don't be something here. On this giant center square, please let there not be a pylon and a gateway. And the probe sneaks in. Gonna get a full scout off. Know that there's no shenaniganry going on. And that floladriblere is an honorable player. Then the probe dies. Yeah, it's an investment. Alright, looks like we got a standard match going on. We have zealots being pumped out. Okay, so we have gone 2 gates. Getting a pylon up here at the front of the natural. And the SCV will be making their way up here very shortly to get confirmation and undoubtedly get stabbed in the face by a zealot. That's what we're all here for. Can it sneak by? Ooh, nice little block there. Nice little stabby stab. SCV's going to get up into the base. Realize that this is a normal game. Nothing terribly crazy going on. Dragoon's going to pop out. Start lobbing some snowballs. We've got a lot of Marines. I think this is probably an adjustment from last match, where the pressure was just so heavy. And it does look like floladriblere is actually moving out. Okay, not moving out, just getting out in front. Ready to pick off any like 1Z, 2Z Dragoon that try to make their way. This is going to prevent any need for a bunker. which will be nice. And we're getting our second factory up. Looks like we only have 2 on gas, though. I wonder if that's intentional or if that's a mistake. So Probe's going to jump up here. He's going to see the vultures that are out. Already having mines, too. He's going to see that the mines are being laid. And now this game, we're seeing floladriblere with a little bit more of the initiative as opposed to last match, where iamsacul definitely had kind of the reins of the game for like the first 3 quarters of the match. Mining up potential expansions. Robo facility, getting a shuttle. Alright, so we might see Reaver play again. That was pretty successful last time. We are also having the observatory. Help mitigate the damage from mines. And meanwhile for our Terran, right? Able to not having to invest in that bunker. Able to get a second machine shop quickly. Engineering bay. And we'll see what the turret placement looks like and how much effectiveness this shuttle has. Now we don't see support facility yet. But I have a hunch that we're going to. I feel like once you start going Reavers, like, you just don't go back, you know? It's like that one thing. Once you go Pepsi, you never go Coke, you know? Alright, Vulture's going to come over here, schwack that probe. Mine's providing good vision of that. Now, these mines both here and up here at the 12 o'clock are also going to provide really good vision in the event that a drop does start coming. So we have a drop filled with zealots. And, you know, just as I was saying, like, it's going to fly right over these mines. And then that's going to trigger a reaction here from our Terran player. Got 1 missile turret, 2 missile turret. A little bit of a pokey poke. Realizing there's still an F ton of Dragoons back home for our Protoss player. But we're having the Marines. Ooh, I like this. Good use of the heavy Marine count that we had early on. Gonna kind of zone out this shuttle. Now, floladriblere doesn't know what's in the shuttle. It's just zealots, but it could be a Reaver. And I say just zealots. Zealots are still very dangerous, but it's not like catastrophic, like, you know, DTs or Reaver or anything crazy like that. Now we do have the Protoss kind of starting to stage over here by the kind of natural third base. Checking for mines, seeing if there was anything to drop on early. Noticing an engineering bay. Now this is a nice little target to hit, right? Knock that out, no more turrets are coming up. Gonna knock this one out. And right now we're setting up the kind of like a contain here, as Protoss is able to park out front of the natural of the Terran base. Ooh, gosh, dang! Mines, man, mines. They're everywhere. Holy mines, Batman. Yeah, mines are good. Alright, Dragoons are going home. I actually feel like this might be more of a mine clearing mission than anything. Well, maybe not, because we're leaving the observer kind of dragging behind. But we are getting a third base. Okay, so the Dragoons are coming back to secure this. Make sure there's no vulture run by. Very common. Have some vultures here, just run across. But all the mines earlier had been cleared from this location. So I don't think Terran's even aware that this has gone down. Terran may not even be aware that there's not still Dragoons parked right here. Okay, meanwhile in the Terran base, we're going up to 5 factories. We are currently at 0-0 with +1 on the way. And it looks like we have a third CC being built as well. And it does look like it's up here in this corner, prepared to float over and take this mamma jamma, this big natural. I wanted to double check the turret placement though. So there's one there, here. Is there anything deeper? Yeah, there's a deep turret right there. Okay, Observer's gonna come out here. get a better understanding of what Terran is up to. And I love this turret placement. I mean, there's only so many places you can build, but getting something to shoo away these observers is huge. Alright, going up to a 6th factory. And we're getting Reavers. So the observer, seemingly threading the needle, identifying... Where is that observer anyway? It's over here somewhere. A potential shuttle route might lead to a Reaver drop. Okay. Shuttle dropping off some zealots. Also, I want to take a moment and check the Protoss base. We are exploding. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11 gateways. That's a good healthy amount. I forget the rule of thumb, but it's something like you want like 2 plus. Like 2 for every factory that your Terran opponent has. I heard that somewhere. I read it on a cereal box or something. Alright. And both players just being really content with taking their time and securing their expansions. Now this is going to put the Terran on equal base footing to Protoss, which I would say gives Terran a little bit of an advantage. So at some point here, Protoss is going to need to move out and get some damage done. I keep thinking, where is that shuttle? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have the second Reaver out on the field. Alright, it's time for Terran to go out and lay some mines. Alright, supplies are starting to creep up there for both players. Starting to get to the point where we might see a pretty substantial engagement. Vultures snooping and pooping, sharking around, if you will. Trying to find if there's any additional expansions. Realizing there's none. Might start having like alarm bells. Right? I know when I'm playing against Protoss and they're not expanding at the rate that I expect them to, I start thinking, oh god, they have 8 carriers at home. They're going into Arbiter Tech right now. But it does kind of look like iamsacul is just clearing the 12 o'clock, getting ready to expand up there. And the vultures are starting to mine away these avenues towards the 3rd base. Okay. Trying to keep track of everything Protoss is doing. They kind of have 2 clumps of Dragoon Observer mixes running around clearing mines. Got a whole fat boy band of vultures up here. Gonna run up here and see if an expansion's gone down. There hasn't, but let's see how these mines do. There's so many. Can he shoot them all? No! They die! Blue goon juice everywhere. And here come all the zealots. That is a shit ton of zealots. Holy crap. I had not looked at the production tab in a while. I don't think these vultures are going to stick around for too long, guys. They are getting utterly surrounded. Oh, here we go. I mean, if they're going to die anyway, might as well dive them in. Getting a few probes. Good little compensation here. Are there any mines available? Doesn't look like it. Nice run by. Now, both players still pretty healthy on probe count. And look at this blue stream. That is a lot of zealots. That is a lot of tanks. Now, I did see Storm get researched. We have 7 High Templar being built right now. This High Templar would be so nice to have in this engagement. These zealots need to get to the front. Unfortunately, for our Protoss player, these vultures reinforcing at a pretty good time. The zealots aren't going to be getting as much damage as I think iamsacul was hoping for. So, good trade there for a Terran player, and I think floladriblere realizes it, does a full unsiege, control groups up, and just starts moving. Now, there's 2 Reavers here that weren't seen before. Let's see if they can get some good scarabs off. 2 tanks going down right off the bat. Another scarab goes. One of the Reavers still survives. And iamsacul bounces! He sees the unstoppable wave of tanks. And that's going to be 2-0 for floladriblere. GG's. Oh man, the games today have been absolute bangers. All right, so right now, Big Naturals has a series win, and so does Build Disorders. We're evened up. Let's see between Hexe and NCX who can tilt the scales. Looking for the replay. Found the replay. Okay, top versus bottom, polypoid, excellent, excellent, good, good, cool, cool. All right, let's go ahead and get that started, and then I'll change all the scoreboard stuff. All right, so we got Hexe, and she is playing Protoss for the Build Disorders. And then we've got NCX playing Terran for the Big Naturals. And we are on Polypoid. Look at that, I'm getting pretty quick at this, guys. Look at that. My other monitor has like 8 different windows up of like minimized and unminimized nonsense. I suck at this. Anyway, bottom left, our blue Protoss is Hexe. And she'll be facing up against our red Terran NCX. Who is quite fond of the Big Natural's name. I heard it was named after a tattoo that he has. But I don't know the validity of that statement. Alright, we're going to see center gate. Hexe mains Zerg, so you know she's cheesy. And right now, in our 2 TVP series, Terran has been having a really good showing. Terran's just overpowered. Alright, nice early first scout in favor of Hexe here. So she's going to be able to bebop around with this probe. Oh, is she going to go for the gas steal? She gets a gas steal! We've seen it all! And once we get to Borisu's game, we're going to see nukes, undoubtedly. Seen center gate. The only thing we also need is like a BBS or something. And now we've got a phenomenal little gas steal. Gosh, this sucks so bad for Terran. Alright, this SCV's doing its darndest. Simulator finishes. What do we have going on behind this? We've got a Zealot getting her own assimilator. See if this is a Cybernetics core, another pylon. Smoke break for the probe. And this probe's trying to go head-to-head with this SCV. Usually ill-advised, but if she can run away, heal up some shields, come back. That's a warrior probe. Ooh, nice little SCV swap right there. Now, also I want to note, NCX has not done that thing that everyone does. It has not scouted. Does not know where the Protoss is. So throwing down a bunker, really good idea. Generally, after a gas steal, you're going to be facing some aggression. And we're seeing that right now with this Zealot G-House and across. We have a second one being made. Marines being pumped. You gotta pump them Marines. Now, see if the Zealot just runs around. Ooh, nice block there from that Marine. And it is able to jump into the bunker. Okay, but the Zealot does get into the main base. Mega annoying. Okay, Zealot hanging around the barracks, trying to, you know, cut down Marines as they come out. There's no factory, you know, because there's no gas. And here comes the second Zealot. But let's keep an eye on this one. I like what I'm seeing here. Now, the bunker only has 1 Marine in it. I'm going to start targeting these Marines that aren't in the bunker. Force that one inside. And now we've got 2-to-1. 2 Zealots, 1 Marine here in the main. This is looking a little scary for our Terran player. Nice little micro here, keeping this Marine alive. Getting some hits with these SCVs. One goes down. Alright, so now we're starting to see economy damage. There's a second one. That Marine finally dies. Alright, these Zealots are getting absolute work done. Meanwhile, we are down to 2 Marines in the bunker and 1 in the main. 1 kill on this guy. If I can click. 4 kills on this guy. And another one. It's like DJ Khalid up in here. Khalid? The another one guy. That's like the only thing he's known for. Oh my gosh. Protoss, man. Coming up here, targeting. Okay, I like that she's targeting the SCVs on the gas. Like, you gotta hit them one at a time, which is a little annoying. But gas is definitely the problem here for our Terran player. Just cannot get gas to save his life. I've never had that problem. I've always been extremely gassy. Lucky me. Alright, this zealot's about to die. Now here comes a Dragoon. Oh no, it's getting kind of hung up outside the bunker. Okay, but now we've got 3 Marines in the bunker, so the Dragoon is probably going to die pretty quick anyway. Alright, we've kind of hit the point where Terran's able to stabilize. Terran can like slow down their APM by like 10, so they can keep up with the Protoss player. We have the second base, so good job on getting an expansion up through all of that for NCX. A couple Dragoons out here for Protoss, and Hexe is throwing up her expansion. Okay, going into 3 gates. And here, okay, so now we have gas. NCX is going double factory. And we'll see if he just immediately starts slapping on machine shops or if he tries to poke out with some vultures first. Ooh, 6 Marines. Keeping the healthy ones out. I like that. And if you notice, even after all that harassment, NCX is at 26 SCVs to the 16 probes. All of the money from Hexe was going in for that kill. She didn't quite get it. So she's actually, I think, quite behind right now. Yeah, NCX is pretty unpredictable. I'm pretty sure, NCX, are you in the chat? You're a random, aren't you? Like, in this series, you're playing Terran, but you're normally a random player. Yeah. Definitely one that embraces chaos. Alright, so we got 1 for 1. We have the machine shop with Siege on the way with a tank, and we're also getting a Vulture out. Now the Vulture's going to have a tough time slipping by. 5 Dragoons here, quite the force, quite the soft contain going on. Hexe, meanwhile, trying to close the gap with the probe disparity, is at 24 to 32. So it was at 10 difference, now it's at 8, so catching up. And just massing Dragoons out here in front of the Terran base. Now once Siege is complete, which should happen any moment now, NCX can take a big sigh of relief. Okay, diving here on this bunker, the first Dragoon goes down, but this bunker is lost. It is toast. Now, Siege is complete, but I don't know if NCX is either aware of that or he just wants to get back to a safe distance. Trying to poke out here against these Dragoons. The Dragoons are shredding these Marines right now. Down goes the Vulture. Now the tank is going to go seek some high ground. Alright, this is going to also effectively block the ramp from the Dragoons. Also bringing SCVs for a body block. Beautifully done. And this tank is just going to be able to shell from the high ground all day. Losing some SCVs, but totally worth it. And NCX's army of like 3 cars is doing a pretty good job against this push. Now, Bunker does get killed. And I think Hexe is back in this game. I mean, earlier she was behind. I think right now, she's evened it up a little bit. I'd say they're probably even. I wonder if there's vision. Here comes the barracks. Gonna give some vision to this tank. Tanks can shoot about like 3 screen lengths, by the way. So might be able to hit these Dragoons. Oh man, we gotta be careful about throwing these Dragoons away. Hexe diving in here. Gonna lose a couple. There's one. There's another one. And now we've got 3 Dragoons behind this this mineral line. Gonna be able to kill a few SCVs. Not much of a reaction here from Terran, honestly. Might be able to kill a good number of them. I actually thought that these were going to get taken care of pretty quickly, just like bring down a couple tanks. But they are getting a lot of SCV kills here. Okay, so now the tanks have been brought down. And these Dragoons are going to get cleaned up. Nice little body block there from the SCVs unintentionally. 5 Dragoons here. Now this is kind of the time where a Vulture would generally sneak out, especially once mines are complete. Still waiting on speed though. So NCX might be content with just staying at home, redistributing his SCVs between his main and his natural, and continuing to just macro up. Meanwhile, Protoss, it looks like Hexe feeling squirrely. Maybe going to take a second main here. Already expanded to the 3rd. Just needs to get that one saturated at the all mineral. I'm trying to keep a little bit of a contain here up against the Terran player. Now, I don't think we have an observatory. You know, we haven't actually checked on the base in a little bit. So we're going double forge. We have Citadel, but no robotics facility as of yet. No observers. So as this map starts to get a little bit more cluttered with mines, we may see some more goon juice. Sounds like an energy drink. Goon juice. Feeling down? Slurp on some goon juice. But with all good brand names, you need to run it through Urban Dictionary a couple times just to be safe. Just to make sure you don't unintentionally become a PR nightmare. Alright, so we do have a double expand going down here in the bottom right, this main base. And I'm hearing some sieging and unsieging going on. Okay, it looks like NCX is trying to like untraffic jam this whole thing. Get out a little bit. Start buying some space. It's all about getting some space so that he can push up and take his 3rd. Okay, Vultures poke out. They see a bunch of Dragoons. They're able to aggro a couple of them into the range. Gets 2 Dragoons for free. Gotta feel good about that. And we are up to 5 factories. The Great Wall of Factories. No traffic jams happening here. Now, the mineral base has been saturated for Hexe, and she has also put a pylon wall up here on this main expansion. So, looking good. Looking alright for both players. This game looked pretty bad in the beginning with the early pressure from Protoss, but now it looks like we're settling in for a full-on macro fest. Alright, 3rd CC being built, prepared to float over to the all-mineral base. Still playing with a heavy Dragoon style. It does look like we're starting to get upgrades though. So right now we're at 0 across the board. But with the double forge setup, we're getting +1 melee, +1 armor. We do have the robotics facility now. We're getting Templar archives. And 4 more gateways, bringing our count to 7. So, prioritizing economy, Hexe got both of her expansions up pretty safely. Has NCX kind of up in the corner at the moment, and is now starting to go in full production mode. I really like this barracks hop thing that NCX is doing. Provides extra vision. It also is a pain in the butt. It's like a rock in the river, you know, like when a bunch of zealots come in. Whole lot of tanks. And also, I want to point out we have ship weapons being upgraded and a starport on the way. Curious to see where we go with that. I hope it's BCs. No, I hope it's Valkyries. Sitting at 0-0 right now. Ooh, I like this tank. Getting some good damage on these Dragoons. Gonna shoo them away, and now I think NCX is in a good position to start going out, mining up the avenues of approach, lifting off the CC, taking the 3rd. Once he gets some tanks, maybe a couple turrets up here. Nice little mine connection here. Oh, another one goes down. Oh, more goon juice. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Ooh, mining up the path of retreat. Okay, but we do have observers on the field now. Okay, so NCX getting out on the map, seeing what's up. Running into a bunch of Protosses. Gonna come back up here and mine up the all mineral base. All right, so here in a big unsiege. Whoa, here we go. All right. Meanwhile, at the Protoss base, we do have Storm being upgraded. I want to point out we're at +1 for our Terran homie, 1-1 for our Protoss hero, and now Terran is about to secure their third. What is this? Got a whole bunch of pylons. We did have a scan go down. Looks like the scan was just kind of out over here. All right, little engagement here. A little unfortunate for Protoss. Definitely don't want to be bleeding these troops, especially when such a large push is on the way. But it looks like NCX might just be content to kind of park everything here and seal this off. Maybe not. Getting pushed back by a gajillion zealots. Okay, getting up behind the mines. Ooh, almost catastrophic mine dragging going on there. Oh, big siege up, blowing up a good number of his own tanks. But this is definitely looking like it's going to be a favorable trade for our Terran player. Ah, man, these siege tanks shooting these zealots, doing a lot of damage to themselves. But we just have a flood of goon juice and no more Protoss. Right now, both supplies are pretty even. And as far as tech is concerned, primarily staying on gateway tech with heavy upgrade style for our Protoss. And then I'm still dying to see what this starport starts doing. We got +1 ship weapons. Wondering if that was a hotkey mistake or if there was really a plan to start going air for our Terran player. Waiting for a science facility. Okay, there it is. So we can start getting up to 2-2. Alright. A little bit of a skirmish going on here outside the Protoss Natural. These zealots are going to be able to run up onto these tanks, knock out the first batch that showed up. It kind of came a little bit in a light wave. And NCX using a lot of unsieged tanks here. Oh, there's a DT! So hard to notice in the chaos of everything. Does eventually go down. And right now, this is a great position for the Terran. I think might have visibility to hit both this base and... Holy DTs! We've got 4 DTs out here. The scan was just expended. We don't have a control tower on that starport, by the way, either. So, like, there's no science vessels coming to save the day. But that scan was enough, and those DTs just got melted. 3 more being built. And I think that this third base is kaput. I don't know how many more scans NCX has, but these mines are going to serve very good defense. But there's no more vultures. There's no more scans. This is going to be wildly efficient for our Protoss player. We've got like 4 tanks just ready to go. Can he get another one? Yeah, it goes down. And here come the zealots on cleanup duty. Great hold there. I thought for sure that third base was going to go down in that attack. Now, the attack's not over yet. Terran still has a lot streaming in here. What is this? More tanks than I can count. 9. 9 tanks, 2 vultures. And with these mines, we got to be careful with these DTs. Ooh, and we got to be careful because of the splash damage. Nice mine drag. And NCX, seemingly with unlimited scans, is able to take out this all-mineral base. Holy cow. So many tanks. They just keep coming. We're on 3 machine shops. We're getting double starport now. Getting some control towers. And we're going up to 2-1. Okay, so the tables have kind of turned a little bit here. Hexe, originally with the contain on the Terran. Terran able to break out. Is now setting up mines and tanks everywhere here. You know, we're seeing the DT switch. And we're seeing Terran kind of adjust towards air, or at least maybe science vessel. I don't know. We'll see what kind of route he goes here. What I'd like to kind of see is something that flies for Protoss. And you know what? Protoss never disappoints. Never disappoints. We got 4 Stargates and a fleet beacon. Carriers, baby. Doesn't matter how many tanks you've got if you got carriers. Unless, you know, kill all the buildings. The way Blizzard intended. Alright, now Terran I don't think is aware of this bottom right base. That is a lot of mines. Starting to get some turrets up. Love to see that. Keep these observers at bay. Now we're starting to explore. Okay, so this natural and this main are going to be in a little bit of trouble here from all these vultures. Now, cannons do very good work against vultures, but everything here, all three of these probes, are probably screwed-o. But we do have some gateways that can help defend this, but what we really need to be cognizant of is if NCX sees these stargates. Now, they were built just outside of range here of the ramp, and so if NCX throws a scan here, we may see a huge transition towards Goliaths. So this is definitely something that I think Hexe is going to want to defend and prevent that information from getting out. Meanwhile, contained. So the vast bulk of the gateways are contained right now. We've got 4 carriers on the way. We've got, I want to check upgrades real quick. We've got 2-2 with 3-3 on the way. We've got 1-0 with still 2-1 on the way for our Terran. We're kind of just trickling out some zealots here, cleaning up these mines with their bodies. Yeah, I didn't even see this. Good call, chat. Seemed like there was a little bit of a run by here at the 12 o'clock. And also Terran is taking the 2 o'clock. Alright, now the vultures did get in here. They did see the carriers. Now watch this production tab. Goliath range! Goliaths! I imagine that number is going to go up to like 7 or 8 as he's building Goliaths out of everything. Everything that he can afford. Now, one thing I want to note, right? Mind out. Mind out. He's on these 2, taking top right. But I think all of his gas is like, there's no gas here yet. This guy's still got some gas in it. This one's depleted. So, like, NCX is gas starved. Doesn't have any, you can't build 8 million Goliaths if you don't have any geysers. Wow, solid tank spot right there. Look at that. I don't know how he was even hitting this. It must have been from a scan. Oh man, huge. This natural base getting back and up and running for Hexe. Reaching the 21-minute mark in this game. A game that, in the beginning, I thought was going to be over very quickly. And we've got carriers. Carriers. I don't know. Do carriers make the game better or worse? Now, a lot of turrets here, and the carriers are fighting in the turrets. I think there may be better opportunities to use them. But they are going to make this defense very, very strong. But NCX is doing a really good job taking the SCVs, creeping up with turrets, while the siege tanks slowly get in range of this natural expansion. Like, this base is still very, very much so in trouble. And as the gas starts trickling in, we get the gas up here, we get the gas up here. You see how that was prioritized from NCX? The Goliath numbers are going to start getting insurmountable. Goliaths are super good against capital ships. And I think our Protoss player is in trouble. I would definitely put the favor in Terran right now. Jeez, I don't even know what the answer is to this storm, I guess. DT snuck up here in the all-mineral base. Very fun. These DTs and some of these backstabs definitely coming from this bottom right base. Meanwhile, carriers doing carrier things. And the carrier production hasn't stopped. We've got one here, one down here, behind this, my head. There's a carrier. Like, imagine my face is a carrier. That's where one is. I guess I could zoom in and show you too. But we also have the production continuing. Where'd they go? Okay. So the number is climbing. We're at 7 carriers right now. The natural expansion here has been destroyed. There was something up here. I think it was a probe. I think Hexe was trying to get an idea of what's going on. And Terran, from an economy standpoint, is still doing very, very well. especially with that gas rolling in. But man, carriers are annoying. We're getting an all mineral base here for our Protoss player, and all eyes and all attention is here in the bottom left. This is one of those moments where you want to take, you know, like a control group of vultures if you have them. I know you probably don't ever want to spare the production to make those, because you just need all the Goliaths in the world. But running around with like a boy band of vultures could do a lot of work in preventing additional bases, so you can kind of starve the Protoss out while you take care of these carriers. We want to check on interceptor upgrade. I don't know, I'll have to click on one next time they fight. Yeah, there's no foot traffic going on through here. This long distance mining is actually a shock that it's even being permitted to occur. And I don't know if the DTs are the play. Holy carriers. So many carriers, at least 12 carriers here. Now the question is this going to push the Terran to just come in here and kill everything? A lot of storms. Or is Terran going to come up here and react with all the Goliaths and potentially be caught out? Here they come. There's your answer. There's your answer. The red flood chasing this beehive. No upgrades on the interceptors. Whole bunch of starports being made. Looks like NCX is trying to go into Wraith production in addition to Goliath production. That will be helpful if you can get Cloak, because I don't see any observers with this this force, and even if there was, like, the Wraiths can target those down. Okay, so instead of triggering the Terran to attack down here in the bottom left of the main, Terran wants to hit where the economy is strongest for the Protoss, and where the Stargate production is, and is instead opting to go down and take out these bases in the bottom right. And unless these carriers come back, I think that NCX is going to be able to do it. We're at a little bit of a base race right now. And carriers are strong, especially in this number is insane. But the DPS isn't that crazy. Like, look how long it's taking these carriers to knock out a starport. Now they're going to work on a command center. Meanwhile, tanks go through this like a hot knife through butter. Goliaths aren't even too bad either, or especially when we're at +3. Alright, they're kind of derping up right here. I imagine NCX is macroing pretty hard right now. Okay, so the natural's been eliminated. Good scan there to see the DT. We've had a lot of DTs this game. Alright, then we got air weapons being upgraded. So that's going to scale immediately for these carriers. I mean, every single one of these interceptor shops for 12 carriers, that's a lot of DPS added. Alright, everything is melting. We're in a complete base race situation right now. And the thing is when the economy is knocked out for Terran, I don't know who wins this, right? If both players have no economy, I mean, I guess the carrier interceptor count can slowly dwindle, but this is so many. And Hexe still has plenty of minerals to make interceptors. Well, actually, not that many. There's less than 1,000 minerals here. We can probably take this if she wanted, with full concentrated power of this. eBay goes down. There goes any chance of making turrets unless that gets rebuilt. Okay, now needs to be careful with these carriers. Needs to micro effectively over like this terrain. Oh my gosh, there goes one carrier. Meanwhile, bottom right has been eliminated for Protoss. So this is going to turn into like a battle of wills, as Hexe is slowly mowing everything down with these interceptors. NCX still with the supply lead. I don't know who Will is, but we're going to battle him. Gosh dang, look at these carriers just go to town. Now we are down to 10. We only have 10, ladies and gentlemen. I like the scans here from NCX, really maximizing the range available to these Goliaths. And there we go. This is what I was talking about earlier with like utilizing this terrain. And now with the cloaked wraiths, no observer. I think Protoss is dead. Yep. Oh my gosh. Whew. I think everyone needs to stretch after that one. That's one of those matches that you're like, oh my gosh, is this really a best of 3? We have to play more. I need to take a bathroom break. No, great game by both players. Good job, NCX. That's going to give you your first win of this series. Or at least a win in this series. Let's go to the scoreboard. Alright, NCX gets 1 on the board. Let's go into game number 2. Alright, and this one's going to be on Radeon. Alright. Much more badass Starcraft action. Here on Radeon, representing the build disorders, our blue Protoss, Hexe, down here in the bottom left, coming off of a tear-jerking base trade loss where she had 12 carriers at once. Insanity. Insanity. A dozen of carriers. Dozen carriers. Up here in the top left, NCX representing the big naturals, the biggest naturalist of the big naturals, our Red Terran, who won last round, but it was close. And there was a lot of early pressure too, right? Like, don't forget, in the first 3 minutes of that match, 4 minutes of that match, I thought NCX was cooked, man. He had like half a Marine stumbling around, like that chopped up knight on Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And that's like all he was fighting with. Somehow came back, turned into a macro game, and got the W. Oh, what is this nonsense, y'all? Hexe opens up game 1, gets a gas steal. Game 2, center pylon. Maybe it's just a pylon. Maybe she won't build a gateway. Maybe she won't cheese through this game. But NCX, no stranger to the early game pressure. As we just saw last game, we'll have to see how he handles this. Starting to wall off the main base. That's going to be a really good start. Also, thank you for the map makers for making these little things that someone else had to point out to me. They're like, hey, your wall's all stupid and stuff. You know, there's like pictures. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Oh wow, and Hexe gets lucky, gets the first scout here. And we're going center 2 gate. Now, NCX scouting top right first is going to be a little bit of a saving grace. Saving grace, whatever. He's going to see the center gateways because he's going to cross scout here. Now this is a full wall. Ain't no zealots walking through this. So this might be shut down before it even really starts for Hexe. And you know who I blame? Whoever put these pictures here that just asks for a wall. Yeah, I was curious about the pylon block too. I know I've had that done to me. Like, I'll try walling this off and then a probe will come in and then like drop a pylon so you can't actually seal it. And it's really annoying. Meanwhile, we've got 2 zealots on their way, but they're not going to be able to do anything. They're going to have to come up here and stab these supply depots a little bit. And it's going to be a little tough. At least I'm pretty sure that's how this interaction goes. You can see them bugging out because they can't walk there. This Marine just having a grand old time. And with the double SCV repair on this barracks, like, it's not going anywhere. We're getting a factory up. We did take off gas in anticipation of expanding. SCV comes down here. See that there's nothing in the main. Knows that there's wonkiness. I think already saw this too. I wasn't paying attention. No, he actually did box scout. He didn't see the center 2 gate. And here we go. Here's a boatload of zealots. A fanatic of zealots coming in, going for the barracks. Now, I like the idea of switching to the depot. One, because the SCV is already prepared to repair the barracks, but also because it's half the health. And look, it's going to go down. And this is a lot of zealots. All right, maybe it's not so shut down. Here we go. Zealots coming in. Stabby, stabby, pokey, pokey. Marines dying left and right. SCVs pulled to the fray, trying to body block, but not doing it right. And now we've just got zealots shanking their way to victory here. And that's it! NCX throws in the GG. Wow, you know, I was such a doubter. When I saw that wall, I was like, nah, Hexe doesn't stand a chance. Well, I, as I usually am, was very wrong. Alright, that was exciting. Alrighty, so that means we get to go into a game 3. The first game 3 of our PVT Tier 2 CPL Week 4 series. Man, is it hot in here? I feel like it's hot in here. Alright, so we haven't seen a third game yet, but we are playing on Neo Sylphid, which is a 3-player map. There's no high ground on this map. And I don't know how to spell Sylphid. I think that's right. Neo Sylphid. We'll just save that. We'll leave that be. Oh, you guys can't even see it because I don't know how to change scenes. There we go. Aw, ask. It's gonna make me blush, man. Oh, what are we doing? Right, we're casting. Up here at the 12 o'clock position, we've got NCX, our red Terran player, who just got double center double gatewayed out of the last round. Now we've got our blue Protoss player who started off round 1 with a gas deal. Game 2 with a center, a 2-gate in the center. And she'll be starting here at our 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock position. Oh, please tell me she's doing it again. Okay, no. Nope, this is just a scout after pylon. And because it's a 3-player map, as soon as she gets to the base, she's going to know exactly where the Terran is. Yeah, you're right, NCX. She already made a pylon. No BBS, unfortunately, from NCX. And it does look like he's kind of preparing a defense here inside this gap, which is the worst gap in like any Starcraft map ever. It's the worst. You can't get anything through here. All the AI gets super stupid trying to walk through this stupid gap. Alright, Protoss is coming up here. And you know what? I guarantee you that was just a misclick. This map is so weird. And a lot of players are used to playing on like Dominator and stuff, and so like they misgauge where they can click to get into the various main bases. So I actually think that's what we just saw. Or I might just be projecting what I do all the time. Alright, probe is in. SCV is chasing. Barracks is down, gateway's down, cybernetics core. Holy crap, look at that. This is going to be a normal game. Now, the probe did get here a little too late to steal the gas. Second supply depot is going to wall this off. And this is going to make this gap even more difficult to get through with mech. And we have our factory going down. Alright, so the SCV is doing a good job of pulling the Zealot away. Chilling. Being chilling, dude. Ugh. NCX giving tips to Hexe. Hey, you gonna upgrade that Dragoon range or what? Now she's dropping a pylon up here. You can't trust Protoss. You can't trust him. Good sportsmanship from both players. Love to see it. Hexe looks like she's preparing to expand, but this might just be a big ruse because over here she's got the proxy robo facility going down. Yeah, I think this is pretty much just here in case NCX comes and scouts. Which I really love that move, actually. Especially if he were to come in with like a vulture, come in, and then start slapping that probe, feeling good about himself, and then this robo facility hops over. Tier 4 Protoss, this is Tier 2 Protoss. We're in Tier 2 today. It's good to see it. Proof by Pecan. Or are you from somewhere that calls them pecans? Alright, we got a whole bunch of Marines coming out. We're having a tank come out, Vulture come out, Mines come out. Wouldn't be shocked if NCX just rolls with this. And you know what? I think it would actually be pretty powerful. Because a lot of money is going into this, getting the robo facility, the shuttle, robotics support base. So we have to wait for this to make and the Reaver to make, which is a lot of money, a lot of time. Poking out with this wouldn't be the worst thing, I don't think. Might wait for a second Vulture. Might actually wait for the engineering bay to finish up, but we'll see. Alright, lifts up. The gap doesn't seem to affect NCX at all. If I had tried to do that, my tank would have been like running around all over the place. And here we go. Utilizing the power of the Marine. Oh my gosh, that body block with the Vulture was actually huge. Those Dragoons might have gotten away if that Vulture didn't circle around and block the retreat. Okay, so the Reaver is being made. Back home. Oh my gosh, look at this forethought. Starting to place mines in anticipation of the Reaver drop. Now, we don't have much for turrets right now. In fact, I bet NCX is probably saving up to expand behind this. That's kind of looks like what he's doing. So this Reaver might actually do a lot of damage. But we'll see if Hexe can split her attention, dealing with the Reaver, getting the drop in, while also defending this somewhat scary push. Alright, now they're being kind of stupid in the gap. But it doesn't matter, there's only 2 Dragoons here. Oh, and what scouts this? An SCV comes up here and scouts it! How'd he know? Okay, I think that was a mine that just popped all the Marines and that goon. But we've got a loose tank. A tank is loose here in Hexe's base. Here comes the shuttle. Where's she going to drop it? Ah! Right smack dab in the middle. Ooh, blows up the mine and the Vulture. This is actually huge. Going to do a ton of damage. There's not much here. There's one tank. There's no siege. So this tank's just going to be chasing. Now we got to be careful from that missile turret. But already paying off with a ton of lost mining time. And if Hexe pays attention, she could pick this up and potentially come over here and be even more of a nuisance. Okay, drops it back here. Big hit on the tank. Now, meanwhile, the tank that was in Hexe's base has come all the way home. Big scarabs. The hugest. People always tell me they love my scarabs. Yo, godlike Paragon, thanks for following. Ah, there goes the Reaver. Okay, back over here, SCV, doing work on this robo facility. Unfortunately, there wasn't a Reaver already making. Hexe finished that that attack and then just started the next Reaver. So that's a little unfortunate. We could have had like a back-to-back Reaver pressure there, or the Reaver would be available to defend this, because I imagine this is very high on the priority list of NCX to start knocking out. And look at that, we see a tank heading over. Vulture getting schwacked by some goons. Tanks coming back, being like, I don't know. We'll just leave the robo facility there for now. No observers, right? The robo facility has been used purely for shuttles and Reavers, and so these mines are extra scary. Only 3 Dragoons here. This SCV might get a Reaver kill. but not today. All right, so more mines, more turrets. If this Reaver's going to do anything in the main, it's going to have to drop early and start lobbing in Scarabs, knock the turrets out. But it does look like the shuttle and the Reaver are heading over here to the front lines. Needs to be careful about these mines, though. Reavers can't run away from those very well. No! Okay, good job on the Dragoons to knock that out. Gonna kill this turret. Okay, now we're getting a little bit of a push, but this mine. Oh, that's a connection. Oh, no! Oh, there goes the Reaver. Mines, man. Mines. Ah, oh, that would have been so huge. This entire mineral line was there, ready for the Scarabing. Meanwhile, Warrior SCVs doing their darndest. And the attack fizzles out. Now, there's still not much of an army here for the Terran. So this thing is just going to continue sitting here, pumping out Reavers. Like, why not? Hexe's getting her expansion. A little late. She's been really hoping to power up, or I'm sorry, get an advantage with these Reavers. Hasn't really come to fruition yet. I think we're slowly running out of the phase of the game where these are wildly powerful. Especially with all these turrets, siege tanks, mines. Like, here's some more mines. Oh, good pickup, good pickup. But meanwhile, when she's been doing all this, she's at 19 probes to 32 SCVs. And that's with the Reaver kills that have occurred on the SCVs. So, targeting down the turret, siege tank gets one hit off, and that's going to force the pickup there. Oh, but psych, got to kill the vulture. All right, we're adding a third gate. We're getting an observatory. We have a second Reaver here, ready for the next wave of harassment. Oh man, this is so annoying. It's Reaver with 3 kills at the moment. Now it looks like Hexe might come back, get both Reavers. And I'm trying to see where the maximum amount of damage could occur. I feel like if a drop just like right here, you might be able to start delaying factory production. But also bringing them out front is pretty powerful in the sense of you're containing while also doing some damage. So I don't know. Looks like Hexe is going to be going back to the front. Because she doesn't have much of an army. She's got 4 Dragoons. She only just got her 3rd gateway. Okay, now here comes... Ooh, these vultures are going to do so much! This entire mineral line, which was only like 6 probes, but that's, you know, a quarter of Hexe's economy right now, just goes straight down. Right down the pooper. Now, this mine... Oh, no. Ah. I don't know if you guys saw that. I thought that was hilarious. This Dragoon hits that mine. Vultures run away, and then these Dragoons just execute their own Dragoon that ran into the mine. It was like, bad Dragoon. Don't run into mines. Be better. Uh-oh, we gotta pick this up. Luckily, they were not so close that the splash damage was hitting both. Oh my gosh. Fun fact, Reavers, or I'm sorry, Wraiths, really good counter to solo shuttles that are carrying Reavers. Shuttle goes down with Reaver inside. Dragoons looking for some mines to step on. This, still untouched. Okay, so in about 6 or 7 years, this Wraith will have this cleaned up. Oh, but now we're getting a push from NCX. Okay, so if you look at the supplies, I think NCX has this game. There's been a lot of Reaver harass, but there's also been very little kind of like Protoss army development. We're still at 3 gateways. We're starting to get 4 and 5, and not enough probes to really pay for it all. So I think this was kind of a high risk early game push for Hexe to end it quickly, and it didn't quite work out that way. This stupid gap, man. You put mines here, and it's just like, okay, I guess I just don't go anywhere now. And then followed up by tanks. Gonna lose 7 probes. Vultures get cleaned up. But this base is dead. Wraith decided it had something better to do. Okay, I actually like putting it over here. So he's looking for expansions, seeing if the Protoss has gone anywhere. But he's also doing good, like, kind of drop defense. Even though the drops generally come from here, but still, like, it's more vision. Oh my gosh, mines. There's only so many times that it's funny. Then it just becomes really frustrating. There go all the goons. That's a GG. NCX takes it for the big naturals. 2-1. That brings us to the last game of this stream. And right now, big naturals are sitting at 2 wins over Build Disorders 1. And now we got to get the decider between Marty Magpie versus Borisu. And I know this is the show match, right? This is everyone just watch the opening acts for the Borisu match. And I know it's true, you know it's true. Everyone's here for the nukes, which is Borisu's signature move. Borisu's also known, and Borisu, I know I don't know you, but I've heard about you. He's also known for very long games. So go ahead, get a glass of water, and let's get this show on the road. Now I'm going to be messing with the scoreboard here. So we got Marty Magpie. Marty Magpie. Protoss. Build Disorders. No wins. Borisu. Terran. Big Naturals. No wins. And we are on Polypoid. Now I'll show you the game. Alright, everybody. The last series of the day. May it not be a long one, because I got shit to do. Up here in the top right, we got Marty Magpie. Magpie? Who knows? Our blue Protoss representing the Build Disorders. And then up here in the top left, we got Borisu, our red Terran nuke extraordinaire, and a man of endurance. Just Borisu, representing the big naturals. This has been a fun cast, y'all. These games have been so much fun. And it's fun to see the differences between the tiers, too. Borisu in the chat with the jokes. Yeah, just another reminder. If you're not a part of CPL and you play Brood War, you should be a part of CPL. There's really no excuse. It's kind of the premier learning league. But I say learning league, they're still completely cracked players. Like, this is tier 2 of the 5 tiers that we have, and it starts at tier 0. So there's 2 tiers above this tier when it comes to just like improvement in skill level and experience. And it's just a great community. So join CPL. Alright, so the SCV does end up going straight over to the Protoss base. Borisu is going to have a full scout. Barracks going down, Supply Depot going down, SCV running round. Protoss still looking for Terran, but at least knows now that Terran is up in the top left. Now, we're at 14 supply, and we don't see any gas. So might be seeing something a little different here from Borisu. Might see a gasless expand go down. Can be punished if we have some early aggression here from the Protoss. It looks like Protoss is going into kind of just normal, you know, Dragoon pressure early on is kind of what I would guess this to be. Probe poking in. Still no gas. SCV. Ah, proxy barracks. Okay. We see what Borisu's cooking. But you know what Mama always said, 2 is better than 1. We got 2 proxy raxes going on over here at the 3 o'clock. Now, is this probe going to find it? Why would this probe go over here? And the probe finds it. Oh my gosh. Cancels both Raxes. And this is one of those things, you can look at the map. There's probes going everywhere. And so one of the nice things about CPL is that replays, you know, can be found. You do play each other throughout the seasons. And I guarantee you that this is not Marty Magpie's first time playing Borisu. You know, Anderson, the person that you're all supposed to tag with your bingo sheets in the CPL Discord. I haven't heard bingo yet, by the way, so let me know if you get a bingo. He made it all the way to A rank, S rank, doing nothing but BBS as Terran. And he's kind of known as the BBS player. And so I call it kind of like the Anderson tax. Whenever you play against Anderson, you have to take the extra time to go look for the cheese. And I think it's a good thing. Like, he actually has that reputation to where if he's playing standard, you're wasting all this time expecting something, going all over the map, when nothing's actually happening. We have an abandoned CC down here. And it gets cancelled. Oh my gosh. Borisu, what are you doing? Alright, Dragoon is going to chase this SCV away. I imagine this probe might just hang out here. Might take their own expansion. And anyway, my whole point about the Anderson story was, like, because of his reputation, you're always out for it, right? And so because of Borisu's reputation with his builds and creativity, you see a lot of this kind of thing, right? Just the Protoss being all over the map, which means when Borisu plays standard, it's going to come out of nowhere. Like, that's the unexpected attack. SCV going straight into the Protoss base. Going to see the expansion starting. This bunker supply depot is blocking this ramp. So no Dragoons are going to be able to come up here, but no tanks are going to be able to come down. We have Stim. We have Stim on the way. Borisu about to play Bio against Protoss. I am having so much fun watching this. Take notes, everybody. This is the way Terran was meant to be played. We have a supply depot going down over here at the 3 o'clock. Oh, man. 9K, you still in here? You still in the chat? Okay, I guess not. 9K is on my team, and we're facing the big naturals this week, I think. And I think he's playing Borisu. Okay, the constant probe scouting. You just always have to be on the lookout. There's supply depot over here, because why not? You need the supply. You also want to deny expansions. You haven't built a vulture. It just makes sense. We've got medics and marines. We've got a tank. Got another tank. Can't go anywhere because this bunker's in the way. So we kill the supply depot. Hell yeah, brother. Another supply depot going down. And the tank makes it down the ramp. Here we go. But you know what? This is actually a lot for these 2 Dragoons to handle. So this whole time, Marty Magpie has been running around trying to find out all of Borisu's little secret expansions. Meanwhile, Borisu has assembled a kill team and is just speeding straight across the map. So all chuckles aside, Borisu actually looks really scary. We've got a bunch of Dragoons up here because you don't know what to expect. You got a couple down here. The supply depot did die. Borisu was supply blocked there for a minute. Back up to 42-42. Still blocked, but at least not in the red. And we're just shoveling SCVs and Marines straight to the front lines. More tanks. Never rest on tank production. Oh, here we go. Big engagement. We have a bunker being built here on the high ground. The Dragoon's trying to target down this tank. Does get one. There's a whole bunch of Marines here, and they are stimming, and there's plenty of medics to keep them alive. And this actually works. This this holds from the 4 Dragoons, and Siege finishes up as well. This is absolutely wild. Now this is a solid siege spot. Getting tucked up there. Cover of the bunker. Vision of all of this. And now all of a sudden, Protoss is loosely contained while Borisu is able to shovel more units down here. eBay going down on site. Feeling cute, might expand. CC at the natural. And we're starting to macro out more Marines. Tanks. Okay, now we see the bioplay. Now Protoss is like, okay, we have a lot of Marines. You know what's really good against Marines? Frickin' Reavers. Reavers are why you don't go Marines. So, let's see how effective this is. eBay built on sites can be able to float over here and give vision to the siege tank that is now going to be completely walled in and unable to be reached by zealots. A lot of clever little things that Borisu is doing here. Another bunker, another turret. Wow. Kind of shocked the Dragoon can hit that when the tank can't hit the Dragoon. Alright, another filled up bunker, another tank. More Marines. Expansion. Still on 2 racks, 1 factory. Marty Magpie, up to 30 probes. And we're starting to scoot out here with this, this tank. Oh my gosh, I love hearing Stim in a Protoss versus Terran match. Underutilized. Another bunker going down. Slowly creeping forward with these bunkers. And you know, the Marines, they'll shred these zealots, especially in the bunkers. This is insane. Siege tank just plopping rounds onto this group of Dragoons and Zealots. We get Marines into another bunker. And this Reaver at risk of getting whacked. There goes the bunker, but a quick pull out there from Borisu. Now we'll see if he retargets down here onto the Reaver. Oh, it looks like it might go down. Okay, Reaver goes down. Marines jump out. Shredding these Zealots, and you can see the Zealots can't get to this tank. Oh, I guess one can. But the bunker being right here, like that's going to kill 1 Zealot at a time, no problem. Moves the medics here to block. This engagement is actually crazy. I've never seen a game like this. Okay. Getting a second gas. Continuing to send Marines out of the 2 barracks. And Protoss is expanded down here to the 6. Okay, so Marty Magpie, not letting this contain get the best of him, is going out and is going to start expanding his economy. Okay, got some Zealot bombs. That is a great way to get on top of this tank. But I'm not really sure that that's going to be the best use of this this Zealot drop. There's not much going home, right? Like, Borisu's base is a skeleton of a base. Missile turret going down here at the 3 o'clock. Absolute insanity. And I guess we just sit while both players macro up a little bit. This is a single-player campaign mission. It kind of looks like it to an extent. And I know I'm talking shit, but I know, like, the funny thing is, like, Borisu would beat the crap out of me. Like, this stuff is wonky, but he's still, like, up in tier 2. And that's why it's so funny to me. Yeah, his individual unit positioning is actually really, really solid. Yeah, shuffling the tank around just a little bit. Getting a turret up here, that's going to create this little miniature wall for this tank. Like, these tanks are sitting in this quadrant of bunkers that are full of Marines. This is like an impenetrable outpost These bunkers are in mutually supporting range, so that like zealots that come up, you have this wall as supporting terrain. You got turrets blocking shuttles. Like this, strangely, like makes sense on paper. You just never ever see something like this happen. Borisu also taking a ninja expansion down here to the bottom left, taking this main. We got another SCV going to another corner, throwing down another missile turret. And here come the zealots. And you can see like the zealots trickling in. Just they die to a hail of gunfire. Forge going down here at the 6 o'clock position. I don't even know where to look. We got 0-0 upgrades. We got +1 on the way for Borisu. 0-0 upgrades for the Protoss with the Forge on the way. Continuing to trickle units up against this siege line that is slowly getting closer and closer and closer. Yeah, Ire was not ready for this. This is actually a G house. That's what the Zealots are already yelling. Now, one thing that would make this better... Oh, okay, there is an SCV. I was going to say, the one thing Borisu's missing from his, you know, tech tree of choice that's in this box is an SCV that can come here and repair all this stuff. Oh my gosh, this SCV building from underneath the engineering bay, making it, like, impossible to target. Alright, it is finally targeted. It doesn't even go down because it gets too close to the siege tanks. So this bunker is just going to be built here, and we're going to see a leapfrog of stimmed Marines go running straight into it. Now, this Reaver's going to knock it out, though, right? So, like, this bunker doesn't stand a chance. But look how fast these Zealots die to all these Marines. This shouldn't work. Missile turret, expansion. A Zealot! Okay, I totally missed this. He must have been here forever, too. He's got 1 kill, beaten up a factory. There's nothing in this bunker. It's just a fake. See what I mean? Like, there was nothing at home. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's gonna die. The shuttle with the Reaver and the 3 probes is going to get shot out of the sky. Oh, the Reaver survives! Good reaction there by Marty Magpie. Holy crap. But not fun when it comes to the try to expand game. Luckily over here he does have a Nexus, can produce some probes, can expand around the map. Anywhere that, you know, Borisu hasn't already taken over. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, if this mix right here, if he just had a few more SCVs, like, he can put full siege on this location just by repairing everything. And that might be the tactic that Borisu's going for, you know, just starve the Protoss out. Because this is really tough to break through. But he is slowly chipping away. The tanks have not been replaced. We do have 2 more under production, 1 being reinforced to the front line. There's like 1 guy on gas here, no guys on gas here. 1 guy on gas here. Okay, now the Reaver's starting to do work. And this, right there, is why Bio is really tough to do against Protoss. Alright, another big engagement here. Marines pulling their weight, but watch this Scarab. Watch it. Watch that Scarab. Any now. Boom. 2 Marine. Oh my gosh, I got too close to the tanks. Oh my gosh. Alright, so the position is still Borisu's to hold. Reaver, just doing Reaver things. SCV, just building various missile turrets. Okay, so now we have a probe. Finally going out. Oh my gosh. The cherry on the pie? The cake? The ice cream cone? Whatever. This is the match to top all matches. Okay, so the Scares are starting to do work here. but we have reinforced the tanks. So this is quite possibly the strongest this position has been so far. We've got SCVs here to actually repair things. We got medics to heal the SCVs. I heard a turret. I was shooting at an observer. And I imagine if I was Marty Magpie, I would be so freaking annoyed right now. I'd be so annoyed with all of this. Because there's not a single unit in the Protoss tech tree that just like handles this. Except for maybe carriers, but even then like the Marines will shoot down all the interceptors. So really your best bet against this is to like mass against it. Which is really annoying and hard to do when you can't like expand out and get a ton of bases and money. I think Reavers are probably one of the best bets, maybe mixed with like a bunch of Zealots. I don't know. Like this looks incredibly frustrating. Turrets. Turrets. Hey man, if it works, it works. Tanks. You know what though, Borisu? I don't see a gosh darn nuke. Maybe that is what he's working towards. We have infantry weapons being researched. +1. Yeah. Marines are better than everything that Protoss has. In enough numbers. And in bunkers. Look at that. I don't even know what to say. Like, this is just such a weird game. Another bunker. There's actually a couple Marines down here. I don't know where this pylon came from. Okay, so now we have a science vessel. I don't know if we have EMP, but we have D-Matrix. You said drop? Yep, okay, so Reaver drop here at the natural. Also moving up here into the main. Okay, so we were talking earlier, there's nothing to defend up here. Nothing. This Reaver, I expect to get a ton of work done. And just like this one, probably got a ton of work done down here. Absolutely huge. Okay, Reavers all over the place. What's going on here? Freaking nothing. What's going on over here? Nothing. Protoss was supply block there for a little bit, actually, when that pylon went down. And now these Reavers are just going to start going to town. Okay, we talked about this before. Wraith are really good against shuttles and Reavers. Especially shuttles with Reavers inside them. And here come some various Goliaths. Okay. And this might be the killing blow. We're going to be getting up here with all these tanks. They're still in supporting range of these bunkers. $15 kills. 10 kills. So 25 kills between those Reavers. Oh my gosh. That probably felt really good. But I don't know how Marty's going to get out of this. I don't know. And I feel like it's so wonky, the decision making, like looking at it in hindsight, if you look, you're just like, okay, that main base, in natural, we're undefended the whole time. There's really no mobility to Borisu's army. The line of reinforcements right here is undefended. But getting out of there and having this weird psychological fortress outside your natural makes it really tough to just like mass up 200 supply of units right here and then push out. So losing a lot of probes here as they're kind of going up and down the ramp. And I'm kind of just checking out what else is going on. We've got Wraiths. Random tank. Oh no, not the Reaver. Get the Reaver! Okay, it drops. It drops. Get a Scarab off. Good. Okay. Got some compensation there for the shuttle going down. Borisu, I've never seen one of your games before. This is a treat. Mined out of the main. Okay, so Protoss is actually pretty broke right now. Still mining here at the 6 o'clock. No gas. I'm sure just trying to figure out like how we get out of this. Borisu's expanding to the mineral base here. Is he going to throw an expansion here? Plan A and B failed. This is Plan C. What's Plan Nuke? I want to see the nuke. Alright, these units getting a little close to the siege tanks. Not boding well for the Protoss player. I still keep waiting for like Protoss to take this base. Okay, and here's a shuttle with 6 probes. So it might be happening now. And then, I don't know, like get a bunch of carriers or something. Kind of like what Hexe did in her match against NCX. I think this would actually be a really effective time for that. Or maybe like 5 minutes ago. Alright, so Borisu slowly, like putting on the sleeper here for Marty Magpie's main base. Now up here we only have 5 gateways. No, I'm sorry, 7 gateways. Oh, Storm would be good. Storm would be real good. All right, now over here on Borisu's side of the house, we've got every upgrade imaginable going. We've got Cloak, we've got EMP, we've got what is this? +2? Yeah, +2 armor and weapons. And then for Marines, +2 and +1. Holy cow. Am I that blurry? Yeah, I've heard I'm pretty blurry sometimes, but we're not here for me and my glorious mustache. I need to shave this thing anyway. We're here for the games, y'all. And this has been a game. Wraiths. Turrets. The siege to end all sieges. Unknown expansions going down here. But Marty's a little strapped for cash. Because there's nothing up here. And this is why he's been shuttling probes out of the base. Yeah, this is still game 1. Hey, I warned you all before this started. Borisu's known for a couple things. Strange builds and long games. But Borisu, I love it. I'm here for it. There it is. There it frickin' is. Yes. We've got ghosts. Where's the nuclear silo? Nuclear. The nuclear silo. I want to see it. There it is. All right, if it was on your bingo card, everybody, there's the Borisu nuke. Oh my gosh. Now, are we going to see a nuke go off? That's the real question. Oh, wow, Borisu. Okay, moving on the map. Going south. Likely going to see an engagement down here. Now, there's nothing to defend. All the gateways, all unit-producing structures are all in the main. And so Borisu's going to come down here and just massacre these probes. Oh, dear. That's got to be a war crime. Came for the nuke, stayed for the medic marines at 26 minutes. Yeah. Medics, making sure everyone's good up here. Another shuttle full of probes. Been doing these long loops because Borisu split the map. Just a variety of units and buildings. This is so much fun. I'm having so much fun right now. Alright, Marines running up here. Can knock out these cannons, no problem. Where's my nuke? We have one. Where are my ghosts? Got at least one right here. Make it happen. Make it happen, Borisu. That's like a last push here from our Protoss hero. Make it rain! We're all here for the nukes. We know you do it. Go. D-Matrix Ghost. Oh! We have it! It happened! Do it! Oh, and the EMP, too! Pro move right there. Knock the shields out. And then make it rain. GG. GG. What did we just witness? We just witnessed Borisu nuke to a GG. That's what we're all here for. That is why this is the main event. Holy crap, I'm blurry. Probably messed with the focus. 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 Over here. Focus on me. Come on, camera. Fuck it. Who cares? Alright, so anyway. There's another game after that. Oh, and as I told you, I got like stuff to do, so we gotta burn through this. I might actually try to speed through. So we can get through the rest of this series. Okay, next map is going to be Radion. And I don't even know what to say about that last game. Don't even know. Don't even know. We'll speed up until there's some weird cheese or something. Up here in the top left, we've got Borisu, who just nuked a player on purpose. Representing the big naturals up here in the top left. Bottom right, our red Protoss Marty Magpie, who just got nuked by Borisu on purpose. It happens. Borisu's known for it. Probe Scout heading out, going up to the top right. Pylon was already made. Gateway's on the way. Not likely to see any cheese here from our Protoss player. Borisu, though, a little bit more unsure of what he's going to do. He didn't even fully go into that base. He saw that probe and he was like, meh, seen enough. I'm going to come down here. So, good awareness there from Borisu. Getting the barracks again. Last time we saw him wall off here with, on the last map it's a little bit different. Here there's the pictures, but it was like a supply depot, a bunker, a barracks. Then he shot the supply depot to get out. Big fan of bunkers. Cybernetics core on the way. Probe is here. Okay, we've got 3 on gas. Last time we didn't see gas for a long time. So this is starting to look a little bit more like a more regular build. We've got a factory going down. Probe did not get a kill. No. It was there until the Marine popped out and then it got shoot away. Okay, and this is the Borisu tax, right? Like I was talking about with like the Anderson tax. We're having to not waste, but we're having to expend a good amount of time just scouting around the base. Or not the base, the map. Just to look for unexpected things that may come from Terran player. Alright, this SCV miraculously makes it into the base. You're gonna see the robotics facility. Oh, didn't see the robotics facility, but it came very close to seeing the robotics facility. And Borisu's going into a 2-fac. Keeping 3 on gas. This looks like a relatively standard 2-fac. We've got the Vulture. Looks like he's going to be making another one, at least one more, before going into the machine shop. And some of these probes might actually be in trouble depending on where this Vulture goes. Which would then continue to increase the ambiguity that Marty Magpie is fighting against. Right? Like, here's one. Okay, Vulture just keeps cruising. Here's another one. Okay. And Marty Magpie out all over the map. Has Dragoons. Going to be able to probably schwack this. But it is going to get up in the base. We'll see if it does any damage. Getting one shot off on 3 different probes. Does kill one. So it got 1 probe. It looks like Borisu's just going to expand. Okay, so a little bit more of a standard game here from Borisu. We've got probes scouting all over the map. Marty Magpie definitely not looking to have a repeat of last game. He found a double proxy racks last game. And that's enough to make everyone triple, quadruple check. And so he's going to be sending this Dragoon over to the Terran base, and he's going to see some things that look more standard. Some things that have more recognizable like counters and reactions. Ooh, I kind of want him to push forward and knock this out real quick. Looks like he's going to be able to. This is going to trigger a reaction from Borisu, though. We've got 4 Marines and a tank. Now, 4 Dragoons can do a good amount of damage to this. This becomes a pretty micro-intensive fight. And definitely an opportunity to jump on a tank, potentially. Just, you know, 2 volleys, 1 tank. Observer is out. And looking to expand here soon. Alright, legitimately though, I am a little short on time, so I'm going to start speeding some things up here and there. Looks like a Vulture did try to attempt to get into the natural. Dragoon up here at the 12 o'clock, prevent any crazy expansions, but we do bring a probe up here as well, so curious what he's going to be doing with that. Observer is getting a full scout off of everything. I missed this. After that SCV died, did he cancel it and build a new SCV or CC? That was wild. Another probe right here. Okay, so Marty Magpie definitely having a much more regular kind of like expansion, right? He's got his natural around the 7-minute mark. He gets a 3rd. And he's being very, very present across the map. Now we do have these vultures poking out, which move very fast, double speed. Let's slow that back down and see what they can do. All right, so they're going to poke over to the natural, not see anything, or realize they can't get in. They're going to head down to the 6 o'clock. So we already have a science facility being made. So 2 factory into starport, science facility. Yeah, Protoss is everywhere. Pylon here. I feel like the name of the game for Marty is don't be surprised by anything. Like he's just trying to keep visibility over as much as he possibly can. And then this pylon may come into real handy because we got a dropship coming out. Alright, Vulture's going to schwack that probe. Dragoons might go over here to try to kill these vultures. Okay, now that pylon I think did see this drop. But I don't know if Marty saw it. Okay, gets a couple of vultures. There's nothing in this dropship. Picking up the vultures that were out on the map. It might actually get some good damage here. I actually really like this move. Gets a couple probes. I don't know what the Dragoons are doing. Oh, I think they were targeted onto the dropship. So a little bit of a misclick there. Costs a few more extra drones for our Protoss player. Dropship heads home. And Borisu's getting into full-on tank production. We've got 2 with support, or machine shops. 3rd producing vultures. And we have a science vessel on the way. We're also getting +1/+1 for our Terran player. And not as many Marines. We gotta have like a normal Marine count. Wow, 2 tanks up here to take care of this pylon. I don't think it's gonna survive. Engineering bay going down, also serving dual purpose as a little bit of a wall for the moment. Science facility. And we actually have a Stargate coming out for a Protoss player. So a whole bunch of tech. We haven't seen any Reavers yet. But we're getting the Stargate, getting another gateway. We're getting Templar Archives. Staged. Yeah. I think you put it very well. It's absolutely wild the degree of confusion that Borisu can inspire in a game. I kind of want to play Borisu just so I can feel it. And so I can get nuked. I don't get nuked nearly enough. Alright, this push is actually looking like it can do a pretty significant amount of damage. I didn't see what like spells are available for the Science Vessel. But regardless of if he has EMP or anything or not, he does have D-Matrix coming stock with it, and then also visibility. So getting a little close here to the cannon, but able to wipe out that entire mineral line. And then these goons can't really approach. Like, Borisu is kind of master at using the terrain to his advantage. Here's the Stargate and Fleet Beacon. I don't think Borisu saw that. If he did, it was very briefly with the Vultures. Now, the Dragoons are heading up here to the 12 o'clock, gonna knock out this CC, but here come all the tanks! And these Dragoons are stuck in here with them. Oh no. Alright, second force from Marty Magpie moving around the right-hand side. And Borisu's gonna come up here and resecure his third. So, Borisu's securing his third. Marty Magpie is down to 2 bases. He's just now having to rebuild his third, and it looks like he's starting carrier production. I feel like that's a lesson from last game. Because last game, if he had had some carriers, I feel like it would be a very different game. Just park a carrier over his main base. Done. Ooh, D-Matrix is heading out on this Vulture and this Siege Tank. And the Dragoons are just dancing around. Again, using the doodads to the advantage of the Terran. And we already have Goliaths. Okay, so I think earlier when I said I don't think he saw that Fleet Beacon in Stargate, I think 100% he saw that Fleet Beacon in Stargate. Because he's got all the Goliaths he needs to try to take care of low counts. Now the Storms are doing a lot of work. I'm going to go ahead and slow this down because I think we're getting to some big engagements. It's an Observer. Now Protoss getting their 4th base here at the 6 o'clock. And Borisu's just going to keep pushing. Now we still have Interceptors being kind of maxed out for this carrier, so we're not quite at full power just yet. And there's only a 1 health Goliath here. Okay, he's dead. So this is all just tanks. So this is setting up to be a wildly efficient trade here for the Protoss player. Give me one of them. I want to see one. Damn it. Alright, no air weapons though. But still slowly trickling this out. But Borisu ready for it with the Wraiths. Now they don't have Cloak, so without Cloak they're kind of not terribly useful at the moment. This carrier doesn't even have Interceptors. Oh no. There we go. Now they're starting to be built. And this Wraith is just going to town on it. But the other carrier has shifted its sights on it. And this Nexus went down. Borisu just YOLOing all of his tanks into this natural, ends up killing it. Meanwhile, on a 3rd base of his own. Insanity. We got some Goliaths showing up. Now, the carriers aren't quite at that capacity where they can really take on big fights, right? You need, what is it? The rule of thumb is like once you have 4, you're kind of dangerous. 6 is like, okay, you can start doing a lot of work now. He's at 2, and they're not really upgraded. I think we still don't have upgrades. So this Goliath trying its best, but you still need to have a respectable amount of Goliaths if you're going to take down a carrier. And here we go. Marty trying to secure his 6 o'clock. Still has the, whatever that is, 4 o'clock. And is likely going to try to retake his natural, but he's so broke at the moment because of having to spend so much money on these carriers. Now, back at the Terran base, this looks like a lot of Goliaths. There's a lot of Goliaths. We also have armor being upgraded, and we have cloak being upgraded. We also have lockdown being upgraded. Do we even have a barracks on the ground? That's awesome. That is awesome. I hope we get to see some lockdown on some carriers. Alright, big move out here. Gonna hit this 3rd base again. Oh, is the stream frozen? Oh, okay, it's working fine. Alright, might just be some people. I hope it's not frozen. You're missing some good stuff. Okay. All right, coming in here, Borisu's going to be able to knock out the third base and all of the carrier tech. So this is going to be putting the hurt on Protoss. But we do have 2 more Stargates. One of the carriers is already in progress up there. So going to be able to get another one out. Now, where are our carriers? Here they are. Okay, so we're at 4 carriers at the moment. This is so many Goliaths, man. These are 3-2 Goliaths. Soon to be 3-3 Goliaths. And Protoss is only mining off of 1 base in his supply block. I think Borisu may have done it again. Taking a base up here in the top right. Ghosts are being made. Oh, and here comes the carrier attack. Okay, but here come the cloaked wraiths. Okay, oh, big timing for the observer to show up. The wraiths all just get schwacked. A big schwacking. All right, carriers are going to up here. They're on top of the production, but look, now we're going to see how these Goliaths fare. Okay, so the carriers are going to run away. And Borisu's going to just ram everything he's got right down the middle. Kills a bunch of DTs. And it's just right on top of the Protoss base. Now, Protoss just has 4 carriers. There's nothing left. There's nothing left but 4 carriers. 17 probes, 1 mineral patch remaining, almost mined out. I think Borisu just took this game from Marty Magpie. Absolutely wild. Congratulations, Borisu. And for everyone that is uninitiated to watching a Borisu game, there you go. You have now seen one. Oh, that was so much fun. Hey, thanks for hanging out. We're going to do the CPL anthem, and then we're going to go ahead and find someone to raid. Big Naturals ends up taking this first half of Tier 2 with 3 wins to Build Disorders 1 win. Great games. All of them great games. Unfortunately, we didn't have Zerg in these matchups, but this was so much fun. I had a lot of fun. Also, just a last reminder, if you do have a Prime subscription, I would absolutely love it. Taking all that money, throwing it towards Starcraft Underground tournaments. We haven't done it yet. Once we hit 50, then we'll start the first one because that's when Twitch does the payout. So greatly appreciate everyone that's followed, and let's go ahead and do our CPL anthem because it wouldn't be... Oh my gosh, I am so blurry. Because it wouldn't be a cast if we didn't do this. All right, y'all. Stand up. Hand over your heart. Gotta re-stretch out those fingers. And just think to yourself, you saw a nuke today.
Losers fall, reflexes, sharp minds and floor. Gamers play, this never ends.
CPL, where legends fly. CPL, we fight tonight. Let us sing the storyline. From the shadows to the dream, we are the Coach-Pupil League. We are the Coach-Pupil League.
Awesome. All right, let's find someone to raid. Someone cool. We'll see if there's any CPLers that are out and about on Twitch. Hit the raid button. Hit the following button. Got the wall. Let's see. What's going on here? Ah, no. We got exit. We've got CZSK. We've got Drytong. The Walt. Let's need to exit. If I can figure out how to work this damn thing. All right, yeah, there we go. Starting the raid. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Hope you guys had a good time. I had a great time. This was fun. Yeah, and maybe we'll do the next half of Tier 2. Maybe we'll do some Tier 1, Tier 0 stuff next time. I don't know. I like watching some of these stronger players. The Borisu matches were a blast. But anyway, everyone have a great time. Say hi to Exit.